Pereira doesn't need to be perfect. Izzy needed to be perfect.
Israel Adesanya might be in serious trouble this fight week at UFC 287.
Trust me, he knows I put him on skates last time. And this time when I put you on skates, I'm going to leave you frozen like Elsa.
Thank you.
UFC 287, what a solid card we have coming up. I honestly wish I could be in Miami to go watch this live, but you know, that's a little bit too expensive these days. Anyways, the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira 4. I mean, it's the second one in the UFC, but the fourth one overall. You know what the major issue is for Israel Adesanya this weekend, why he might be in serious trouble? It's the time between the fights. It's going to be about 5 months since UFC 281. And why is that lack of time and that short time frame an issue for Israel Adesanya? It's the lack of time to close the gaps. For their fight at UFC 281 last year, I had made a video saying that Alex Pereira was going to struggle, and I was right for the most part until the end. Izzy looked pretty decent throughout the fight. I mean, he rocked him at the end of round 1, and he used his grappling, which he normally doesn't. But regardless, Alex won. He's 3-0 against Izzy now. And I do want to say this as well, when it comes to Izzy's mentality going in. Izzy, I believe, is very, very mentally strong. The dude is bulletproof. He's calm as a cucumber all the time. However, as strong as you can be mentally, I just feel like the way he lost that last fight, and when you're down 3-0 against someone, even if you're as strong mentally as Izzy is, that has to affect your mindset and confidence going into this fourth fight. Now to answer the question, why is Israel Adesanya in trouble at UFC 287? Two main things: the grappling and Alex's lack of respect for Izzy's power. So let's talk about the grappling first. What is the key to victory for both of the fighters this fight? The grappling. Both of them have great striking. They are high-level strikers. They don't need to spend their entire training camp mindlessly training striking. But what they do need to do is spend their training camp now training the grappling. Again, for Izzy, the grappling offense. For Pereira, mostly the grappling defense and getting back up to his feet. And I'm not saying that Israel Adesanya can't win in a pure striking match, but Alex Pereira's weakness is pretty clear, and his weakness is not striking. So back to the initial point, the lack of time to close the gap. I don't think that 5 months is enough time for Izzy to train his grappling at a level where he can use it effectively and have the conditioning to use it effectively for 5 rounds. Now for the second major issue I can see, which I mentioned, was Izzy's power not being respected by Alex. Now what problem did that cause at UFC 281? Well, the problem that it caused is that Alex just pressed forward most of the time. Izzy had to walk backwards, and he was forced to stand behind the black lines against the cage and having to avoid Alex Pereira's shot in that position for 5 rounds. Now, what can Izzy do to stop Alex from just pressing forward and not caring about his power at all? One is to hurt Alex, and the second thing is to tire Alex out. But honestly, because of these 2 points and the lack of timing between the 2 fights, I just don't think there's enough time for Izzy to close those little gaps. Again, he was doing fine in the first fight, but these little minor things, I just don't think he's gonna have enough time. And my gut is just telling me it's not enough time. Okay, so let's go through the first fight a little bit. Let me just start off by saying this. Izzy's walkout, simply amazing for this fight. I don't know about you guys, I just loved it. The Saw music, it just got me so hyped up, and then Alex just standing across from him. Man, I got super hyped for this. And then Alex just looking menacing during Bruce Buffer's announcements. I remember the first time I saw this, and I know everybody was thinking the same thing. The size difference is just insane. Absolutely insane. I knew as soon as the fight started and they were facing off, I knew the size difference was going to be a problem for Izzy. It's just, he is like in a totally different weight class. Round 1. Like I mentioned earlier, one thing you'll notice in round 1 and the rest of the fight is how confidently Alex just walks Izzy down. It's almost as if he's like, I don't care what you're going to throw at me. I have no respect for it, and I have 100% confidence I'm going to hurt you. The leg kicks and calf kicks Alex starts landing early on are very apparent and very effective. One thing I think Izzy should do in the rematch is what he did right here. Timing Alex's kick and landing the straight right. Target Izzy's legs again. Now, it's obviously better for Izzy to just check all the leg kicks, but this is also a very effective shot that he can. Izzy wins round 1. Round 2. So like I mentioned earlier, one easily identifiable issue is that Izzy somehow has to correct and stop Alex from pressing him behind the black lines in the octagon. I mean, look at this. He's just pressing Izzy into the octagon with his elbow and hitting it with good strike. And the other thing I want to say is that Izzy doesn't look bad behind the black lines, but this realistically is like a target practice range for Alex. Like I said, look at this. This is like a scene out of a horror movie. Alex wins round 2. So the takedown that Izzy got here in round 3 wasn't exactly initiated by Izzy just pressing forward, getting a double or single and taking him down. Alex pressed forward half-assed and recklessly, and then got caught in a clinch and then tripped and taken down. And some of the grappling exchanges in the round, like, it just showed that Izzy's just not obviously a top-tier grappler, and he has to continue drilling at this camp. Round 3 goes to Izzy. This is a really effective shot that Izzy keeps on landing throughout the fight. It's this straight right. It's very, very effective. And I have a feeling, or I'm going to guess, that Alex is going to work to adjust and correct for the shot for this coming fight. I also want to note that the question mark kicks that Izzy has been throwing on Alex throughout this whole fight have not been effective at all. They just have not. Now, unless the point of it is just to show Alex different strikes, different angles, keep Alex guessing, if that's the purpose of them, okay. But if they were to try to inflict any damage or land, they were not effective at all. This round, Alex really slowed down and wasn't pressing forward much. And this is what I talked about, how Izzy could, if he could tire Alex out, he can stop Alex from pressing forward too much, because he did take a break this round. If Izzy had pushed forward more this round, maybe Alex would have been even more tired in round 5. Izzy wins round 4. So round 5, and this is what I said, Alex kept Izzy behind the black line for a lot of this round. And like I said, it was like target practice. I also just want to give Izzy some credit for this finish. I mean, he took some hard shots from Alex and was not KO'd clean. So that was their fight from last year. A lot of the things I saw in the fight are stuff I mentioned earlier in the video and the key concerns I have for Izzy going into this fight. But ultimately, we're going to see what happens. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content similar to this. I will catch you guys later. Enjoy the fights. I'm going to be definitely enjoying this card. Catch you guys later. Peace.